As I'm sitting here getting ready to tell a story, it occurred to my mind that this week we're getting all the meme QBs to start. I'm talking Gardner Minshew, Nick Foles, and Trace McSorley are all starting this week. God bless the NFL. So that's going to be the title this week. The meme QBs are back. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Get your big dicks ready, get the mania ready, and get ready to throw it on a dime like y'all ain't even trying. Let's roll this intro. If only Mike White would have been healthy. Damn shame. Hello everybody and welcome to the week 16 of the 2022-2023 NFL season and my prediction picks. I'm your host, Catherine, known as the Blind Canadian Cat. I say meow and I roll intros, and if background noise happens, apologies in advance. This had to be last second, because the life schedule got a little fuckled, and Ohio is Ohio, which I can confirm to y'all is real. Ohio is definitely real. So, and Amanda's not holding a gun to the back of my head. Definitely not. But with that, while I froze myself off in the lowest scoring game of the week and seen my team score the lowest amount of points by a team this week, excitement happened a lot of other places here in the NFL, which brought in an interesting week for me. Bringing in a 10-6 straight up pick. So we're doing pretty good for the most part, but those spreads and those totals got to me again. And at this point, I'm just convinced we're far from saving on those guys. And to be honest, looking at the straight up picks, I'm probably going to have a down year on that too. So this year overall has been kind of underwhelming, underperforming. It is what it is. Let's see if we can at least end the regular season with a bang. Going with these picks. Starting with the Thursday night game, which, what do you know, this has some playoff implications. I don't know the story behind Ryan Tannehill, but I've heard somewhere that it might be the rest of the season. So not only is that team going downhill, but they're probably losing Tannehill. And Malik Willis, in the games he's played so far, has looked raw as all hell. So Jacksonville, who's found this little win streak going, they might be able to undermine this division. It's right there for them to take. And with that, plus the momentum they're rolling, and me not trusting Zach Wilson still, because there will be Zach Wilson starting again. Mike White still is fucking broken from the Bills game. So I'm rolling with Jags. They're hot. And again, this is one of those momentum things. Like, Jags are on a roll, and now they see opportunity. They're going to take advantage of it. I expect this game to be a relatively low-scoring one. Because, again, I'm not going to doubt the Jets' defense at all here. But trusting their offense is a whole other story. But I like the Jags and the momentum. I'm taking them. I'm going to take the Vikings over the Giants, but the Vikings keep playing with fire every week, and if it doesn't bite them in this regular season, it's going to definitely bite them in this postseason. Like, they may be lucky to be the 2 seed and have the benefit of the down against the 7 seed. But if they fall to a 3, even as a 2, with the way the Lions are coming up, the Giants and Commanders, I'm not going to sleep on either of those teams. Or if Seattle can find a way to get back into the mix. I think that any of those guys can get the Vikings here. The Vikings keep slipping up the way they do. But I'm going to keep rolling with Minnesota, but I'm going to give the Giants to cover, because especially with the Giants beating the Commanders this last Sunday night, I'm putting respect back on them. I'm putting respect on Brian Dable here. And Kevin O'Connell's been looking really good, but I'm going to put respect on Dable's name and give it to him. Cover, yada yada. Browns over the Saints. I think the Browns at this point, they're still got a lot of struggle on offense, but the Saints are dead in the water. Good job. Beating Atlanta with Desmond Ridder tells me nothing. I think Watson's going to I think if there's a breakout game for Watson here anytime left in this regular season, it'll probably be this game. It will probably be this game. I expect Cleveland to dominate. Ish. Another interesting game with playoff information, the Lions and the Panthers. Looking at it from where I see, again, Lions are on a roll. Had Carolina beat Pittsburgh, maybe this is a different discussion, but I don't see it as much at this point. The Lions are too hot right now. And Dan Campbell, maybe he deserves some votes for Coach of the Year. Maybe he does. 3 weeks left, let's see what he can do. I like them in this game. I think they take care of Carolina. Because Carolina's defense, while respectable, is not the Jets' defense. So I think the Lions actually get back on track with their offense. I'm taking the Bengals over the Patriots. There's only so many things I can say about that ending and how Bill Belichick is feeling or reacting to that situation. Bill Belichick's not emotional, but if there was ever a time for him to show emotion, it would have been that. If there's one thing those Patriots teams and that Patriots dynasty prided itself on, it's not beating yourself. They will not beat themselves. And and for them to lose that game that way, they should be glad they lost that way, so no one's talking about Mac Jones' 13 for 31 performance, too. Be lucky that happened. It leaves you to wonder at this point. I am kind of curious how Mac Jones is going to look for the future. Or if they start thinking about Bailey Zappi again, or if they go get someone new. There's a decent fair share of backups in this NFL that are not going to get auditioning chances, so let's see how they do. But I think Cincy rolls here. Cincy's on a roll. New England pissed away their easiest game left on their schedule. I'm rolling with Cincy in another blowout. I don't care what the first half score is. It might be close, but Cincy rolls in the second half. It will be a 10-point game by the time it ends. I promise you. Bills over the Bears, but the Bills keep proving that I can't trust them to win blowouts. And Chicago finds ways to cover. They covered against Philly. They actually made Jalen Hurts look pretty bad. Thank God he had 3 rushing touchdowns, so it looked like he had a decent game. But 0-2 looked kind of bad. I don't care who you are. It didn't look good. But yeah, I think Chicago's doing really well, or at least Justin Fields is dragging that team. He's not winning games, but he's doing everything he can to keep the team relevant. So I'm going to take the cover. I don't think Buffalo blows them out. I think Justin Fields won't let it happen. Titans over Texans. Texans are hot. Texans are hot. I'm paying attention. They're not winning, but they're putting points up. They're making things interesting. I have to pay attention. And with Tennessee more and more going downhill here, I'm taking the points. This week's theme should just be trust issues. Because I have a lot of teams not covering. But even if that's the case, with the next game, I'll take the Chiefs over the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are kind of on a downhill trend too. But with the way the Chiefs have looking lately, especially against the Seahawks team, who I think is still really good, like hell am I laying 10? I mean, they couldn't even cover 14 against Houston. You want me to give them 10 against Seattle? And I think the game is in Seattle too. I don't remember off the top of my head. Hell nah. Hell no. They'll win the game. But I'm not giving them 10. Fuck that. I got the roommate seal of approval on that one too. San Fran over DC. I wanted to believe in DC, but that performance last week, well, admittedly, yes, they got screwed by the refs on a couple of occasions, but they could have had a better performance overall in that game. So, and I think San Fran's a top 5 team in the NFL. Top 3, arguably. Again, it's a quarterback heaven there. You can plug and play anyone, and you should be fine. Hell, I don't know. I don't know what their future plan is because they still got Trey and Jimmy to think about. But if that team goes somewhere with Brock Purdy, I think that discussion needs to be made. I think it does. But yeah, I trust San Fran too much. I'll take them, and I think the 7 should be fine. I don't think the Commanders will put up a lot of points, especially against that defense. So, I mean, if they can just muster up 17, 20, 23, then they should be fine. I don't think DC gets more than 14. I don't. So I'll take it. I'll roll with it. With Jalen Hurts down, they're going to start Gardner Minshew in that pivotal game. And by pivotal, I mean not really. Because I expect Philly 100% to lock up the 1 seed regardless of this game's outcome. And I expect Dallas to stay the 5th seed regardless of the game outcome. So we can pretend this game means something. This game doesn't mean anything. Because neither of these teams are going to move their spots. Dallas is not going to win the division. And Minnesota's not going to be smart enough to catch up to Philly. So, but hey, I'll take Dallas for the feel good. But I'm not sleeping on Gardner Minshew. I'm not. He's way too good of a quarterback to be backing up these last couple of years. So, I think they cover. I wouldn't be surprised if Philly won this game outright either, with the way Dallas is kind of backtracking. But take Dallas, take the cover. A Saturday night game. I'm taking Pittsburgh. I probably was going to take them anyway, but with the recent news of Franco Harris passing before the Immaculate Reception anniversary, I think that just motivates them. I think this is one of those games that just you know Pittsburgh is going to go loud and proud for this game. And even if not, this is one of those games where you wouldn't be surprised if the Steelers got some calls. You wouldn't be surprised. I feel like it's going to be one of those games where, like, regardless what happens, people are going to want Pittsburgh to win in the name of Franco Harris. Again, I'm not. I will never be the one to say the NFL's rigged. But don't be surprised if some fishy shit happens that lets Pittsburgh win this game. Don't be surprised. And then your 3 Christmas games, which all look like shit now, mostly. I mean, the Miami and Green Bay game might be interesting. It might be. Let's put it this way. Green Bay needs it to, again, have that 2% chance of making the playoffs. And Miami's on a 3-game losing streak, so we don't know how to feel about them. At this point, they need every win they can get now, because those teams are catching up. New England and New York are right there. And even if Jacksonville doesn't win the division, at this point you can't rule them out for the wild card either. It's teams are inching closer. But I'm taking Miami. I think that the better team in the Buffalo game especially proves like, hey, we can compete with the best. They need to learn how to close these games, but they can compete with the best. So I think they take care of business. Green Bay. I'll take Denver just because I trust Denver. Like I said, I trust Denver's defense more than anything else, and especially since Baker had a lackluster performance against Green Bay. After now learning the playbook, I'm trusting Denver's defense. They'll make enough plays. And then Tampa over the Cards. Cards are starting Trace McSorley now with Colt McCoy out. But what has Tampa done to give you confidence they'll cover 7? Like, I'll buy into them being the favorite. I will. But I'm not laying the 7. Even if it is against a third-string quarterback in a lackluster Cardinals team. I'm not laying 7 to Tampa. I'm not. And then the Chargers to make work with the Colts. I'm not going to gloss over what happened to Indy. The only thing I'm going to say is this. If that's any other quarterback in the history of the NFL, it's one thing. But you can't beat Matt Ryan in that situation. You can't. Matt Ryan, of all people, you are not the one who should find yourself in that spot. It just looks worse and worse and worse. So, it is what it is. But I guess Indy has seen enough. They're going to try to roll with Nick Foles the last couple of weeks. And I mean, can they do something with it? Could they make it interesting? It's the Chargers, though. The Chargers will probably find a way to keep it interesting. Because the Chargers can't have anything nice, and neither can their fans. Sorry, Isaac. It's the truth. Which makes me hesitant to lay the 4.5. But I think the Chargers realize, hey, just one more, and we should be fine. So, I think the Chargers answer the call. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't cover the 4.5, but the Chargers should win this game. They should. But then I guess that's the Chargers in a nutshell. Should, but don't. It is what it is. Alright, picking over to fantasy. Should be interesting. I was not able to beat Chris. So with that, I'm eliminated. So for the League of Assholes playoffs, I should probably move somewhere so I can actually display the thing. That's right here. League of Assholes playoffs kicking off. It was Sean and Micah, and then Chris and Nate. Sean and Micah have both been previous champions. Nathan and Chris have not won a championship. So at the very least, for the championship game next week, we'll have someone who has yet to win it. So it should be fun. I think Nathan's finished second twice. And I think Chris has finished fourth 3 times. I don't remember if Chris has made a championship game or not. But yeah, should be fun on the other way. Discord's finest, I got my ass kicked by Zach. So, me and Amanda are going to be playing for the 3rd place game. Coconut Mall, Subleaf's a moron. I told him that, so I'm going to say it again here. He's a moron. He has the playoff set up so it's the first round and the second round are 2 weeks combined. So, turns out me and Rye's match is not done yet. We're going to the second week, and we're adding up the points. Because that's how Subleaf set it up. Because he's a moron. Let me say it to the camera one more time. Subleaf, you are a moron. There. Just for my fun. And then finally my money league. I also squeaked by with the win, despite lacking performances from a couple of my players. And now I'm losing my starting quarterback. So, and here we go against Carmine, who has been on a glorious rampage of personal bias and opinion to the point where he doesn't even participate in the group chat anymore. Because, hey, who doesn't like roasting Philadelphia fans? I usually have nothing against him, but he's been kind of... He's given off 2020 Steeler vibes, and it's kind of annoying. Even to a guy who shit-talked Miles Sanders, which, congratulations on making the Pro Bowl. I don't know why I'm pointing here. The camera's here. Meh. Congratulations on making the Pro Bowl, Miles Sanders. You are truly a great running back, and Carmine can eat a dick. So, fingers crossed that I can beat him. One Ravens fan failed, so let's see if this Ravens fan can. And yeah, that's for round 2 of our playoffs here in the Money League. Fingers crossed. And with that, that sums up mostly everything. I forgot to do Cat Parlay of the Week again. I love not having a schedule. Ugh. I like Browns. I like Lions. I feel like those two are... Actually, I like Bengals too here, honestly. Also, I'm expecting... I wouldn't say ass-kicking, but with 2.5 and 3 spreads, you can get away with those. Probably it's Titans-Texans under. I'm not expecting many points in that game. And... one more for a Saturday, because I don't want to do the Sunday games. I guess give me the Niners money line, too. You're not going to get many points off of that with them being favored so much, but go Niners money line. So let's try that. 49ers money line, Browns minus 2.5, Lions minus 2.5, Bengals minus 3, and Titans, Texans under, which I'm assuming is a 30s number again. Probably bounce it up to a 40 and take the under. But hey, you'll make it work. That's the Cat Parlay of the Week. We've been on a losing streak since we won the first 2. Most of them not even close. But hey, all streaks are meant to be broken. And with that, that is all from me. Make sure you follow me on my Twitter, CanadianCatCP, Instagram, Blind Canadian Cat. Hop into my Discord and hop into Twitch. All those beautiful links will be found down below. Make sure you join the NFL YouTuber Prognosticator page, where you can see all our football takes there. Shout out to Justin and Chris and Gio for being the wonderful football minds they are. Fuck you, Carmine. I hope you lose. And I hope Philly loses. Just for the shits and giggles. And with that, that is all. Thank you for watching. I will catch you next week. Choose peace, accept love, have big trust.
Fuck you, love.
From our favorite Chiefs fan to good night, everybody.
But, like, I don't want to disappoint two people at once. Hard to do that. I just go visit my mom.